Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Farooq Mirza, your host from Washington Global Forum, Fourth Pillar TV USA. Uh, the program is designed for a Pakistani, American, and European and Middle Eastern diaspora. So we welcome Professor Dr. Ghulam Mujtaba in our show. He is a PhD doctor, community activist, and a foreign relation uh, expert. So we will talk on a very important issues uh, in regard to Pakistan and American relationship, uh, the flood relief, uh, disaster managements, their efforts, and we will talk about especially uh, Army Chief, his appointment or extension. Uh, we will come to know that is it a reality or is a rumor, and unexpected change in opposition leader Imran Khan, ex-prime minister, uh, on the new appointments of Pakistan Army Chief, and recently a very big bust, and they confiscated a valuable asset from one of the PTI leader who was running a, a website and running trends against Pakistan Army and against Pakistani's department. So FIA, they did not arrest him, but they took confiscated valuable asset. So we will also talk about Dr. Saab uh, in Pakistan. Uh, Americans they came and with the decent flood relief funds, and one of the parties still they are enjoying parties, meeting with the different uh, high ranking officials, prime ministers, and they do not have any rank, they do not have any appointment, and they are not a part of Congress, they are not a part of any Pakistani uh, office. But a bunch of construction workers and Indian film promoters, and one of the very person of interest from Texas, Houston, and he is uh, creating a new environment that he is the one who will fix Pakistan-American relationship, and he's meeting with the opposition and uh, with the government at the same time. And today we saw him having a lunch with these folks, with the Chief Minister Punjab. What's going on, Dr. Saab? Uh, Tahir Javed, we are talking about Tahir Javed. And is he uh, the person who represents United States of America or Congress? Uh, what is his official status? What do you have? What kind of information you have? Or is it just a phony business of photo shoot and they are fooling around and making fool with the Pakistani officials? What is reality, Dr. Saab?
Thank you very much, Mirza Saab. First of all, my apologies on the internet problem. We had it, and we are good to go now. Uh, Secondly, the question that you asked and the concerns of your audience and the people around the world and Pakistani diaspora and the expatriates Pakistanis are looking to all those events that's happening in Pakistan. First of all, one has to understand that anyone who is dealing on behalf of the United States has to have an official position of the United States administration, which means the person should be a part of the government of the United States, either the Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, or any of the cabinet positions, or those holding offices as Deputy Secretary or Ambassador, diplomatic missions in Pakistan. If there's someone, a third party, who is not related to the government, don't hold any official status, has no reason to claim himself as being a representative of the United States government. Now, coming to the without naming anyone, let's come to the point. These days, in the days of internet, in the days of social media, it is damn easy for anyone to find out if the person holds a public office. And in order to do that, one can go to the website of the official site of the government of the United States, where it should have been mentioned that this man is going for a visit on behalf of the government or the administration of Biden to meet the people in Pakistan. If that is not the case, then there is no way that someone can come up and claim to be part of the US government or Biden administration. Yes, there are people who want to create some sort of impression in Pakistan as they are the ones who are benefiting Pakistan to create their image. And I do not understand where are the national security agencies of Pakistan and how come PEMRA is allowing such thing to happen in Pakistan. Yes, there should be free independence of writing and speaking, but that does not mean that disinformation is being promoted in Pakistan.
That's fair enough. Here, the different social media sites, and today one of the renowned journalists, Khushnood Ali Khan, and he also wrote a column that circulating different rumors circulating that an official in why they are claiming that they have a special message from the U.S. establishment and from the Biden administration to the government of Pakistan and uh, to the opposition party. And they also claim that due to their efforts and these messages given to even the Pakistani military establishment, high-ranking officials, they met recently. The Tahir Khan, he met with Imran Khan, and their body language. That then after that, they also claim that the Imran Khan has changed his stance and gave a very surprise um, a statement that he don't have any issue if they can give extension to the Pakistani army chief till the election. So they are taking all credit, and at the same time, uh, some of the government officials, uh, I think, now they are convinced that this is official message from the Biden. Now, recently, uh, the chief minister of Punjab, he had a uh, dinner meeting with these guys, and I don't know, one of the lousy, low life contractor and a film promoter, or the guy who is just a grocery merchandise or a insurance broker in the United States of America could play such a vital role where there's the entire the establishment on both aisle, even in Pakistan, and they are just fooling around and they're playing dumb. What is the consequence of that? Do you think the embassy in the United States of America, they don't realize it? They could create a diplomatic conflict between two countries, and their activities, the way they are representing United States of America, that could be down the road another issue. So what is the consequence of that if down the road the government of Pakistan or the people they are taking these secret messages, if they will come to know the reality, then what would be the consequence uh, of the relationship between United States of America and Pakistan?
Mr. Farooq, the question is there are certain protocols in democracy, in diplomacy. And what are those protocols? When a foreign visitor has to visit a foreign land, or an American diplomat or an American official has to visit Pakistan, for example, the person must get security clearance through the security institutions of Pakistan. And this security clearance should come through the Department of State, which is called Foreign Office in Pakistan. Department of State should send a list of individuals who are on a state visit to Pakistan. Was a list sent to the Pakistan's national security agencies, including the ISI? Was the list sent by the Department of State to the national security agencies of Pakistan through the Foreign Office of Pakistan? No, I don't think so. If the list was not sent, and if that list was not approved and sent back to the Department of State, that yes, we approve the visit of these people.
Dr. Saab, you are a foreign relation expert, and you represented Pakistan officially, and you have a definite uh, a title presentation. And recently, you met with the congressman, and you talk about the Pakistan-American relationship, and also you convince them to add more flood relief funds. And these kinds of phony presentations on a diplomatic level, I just want to understand, and for my audience, that how dangerous is that in terms of a relationship, a growing relationship between the two countries.
See, the United States has no problem if someone visits Pakistan or any country on a private trip. The trip was a private. Was this sponsored by the Department of State? No. Was the ticket given by the Department of State? No. Were they the entire travel procedure and the protocol was adopted as per diplomatic norms? No. Was there a security clearance for those Pakistani Americans visiting Pakistan as officials of the United States made? Was there a letter sent by the Department of State, or was there any information? No. Now, the question is, if you are funding a congressman, if you are funding a congresswoman, and that congresswoman is being sponsored by your organization and asked to visit Pakistan on humanitarian trip to Pakistan, yes, that can happen as a private visit, and the person is an official of the United States, is a member of the Congress, and the member of the Congress is visiting Pakistan not on behalf of the administration. Yes, the congressmen may have informed the Biden administration that they are visiting Pakistan. They may have sought a security clearance through the Department of State to visit Pakistan, but the substance of the matter, the fundamental question in diplomacy is, United States has given a $30 million aid to Pakistan for flood relief. Was that aid given through a congressman to Pakistan? No, this does not happen. It is between the government and the government. The government, the president of the United States, Biden announced $30 million support to Pakistan. That does not mean the Congress was involved or any individual from the Congress is involved in this whole thing. Now, what Imran Khan is trying to do, or what other people, politicians in Pakistan try to do, is to capitalize on those things as to they have done something to manage these funds for Pakistan. No, these funds were announced before the trip. It has got nothing to do with the trip. Yes, if there is anything in addition to that is being given to Pakistan, and that has been done by these people, they have to come up with evidence as they have done it. Yes, they can do it on their own. They can get money and collect money from Americans or Pakistani Americans in the United States to help Pakistani flood victims. There's a need for humanitarian effectives in Pakistan, but this trip has nothing to do with the official visit of the United States officials to Pakistan.
Dr. Sab, if this is the case, Tahir Khan, he previously he came to Pakistan with the Muslim Congresswoman Miss Alham, and he visited Pakistan while Imran Khan was marketing anti-American stance, and he was he was very serious, and he was damaging Pakistan American relationship, and he was attacking opposition, that the opposition is meeting Americans and they are making plans to de-seat his government. So at the same time, when American Congresswoman came and went to Banigala, and she met with the opposition and the high-ranking officials, but that visit was also a private. So Tahir Javed, now the second time he came with the three powerful congressmen. They are also part of Indian caucus. So he uh, definitely all the expenditure on, if this is a private trip, is almost $1 million expenditure. So who is bearing the cost of these private high ranking visits, and who will uh, take action while they are claiming that they have a special messages from uh, American establishment and the Biden administration? So, what is the reality, and how these diplomatic, these so-called and claimed phony trips and businesses matter?
This is the serious issue for American intelligence intel network as well. If someone is trying to create a situation whereby they sponsor people and they want to bring people to a third country or to a foreign land and want to capitalize on US policies, this is not acceptable for America. America don't have lesser funds not to sponsor their congressmen to go on official trips. America has all the resources available to them, is the biggest power on earth. There is no way that American official delegation has to be sponsored by private individuals, and those private individuals want to capitalize on the situation of American foreign policy. These things are not acceptable in America. Now, coming to your first part of the question on Ilham Umar. Ilham Umar is not regarded as someone having a clout in the US Congress or in the US administration. Now, coming to the other people who came in, are they something holding important positions in the Congress? I don't think so. They are not the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. They are not the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. They are not the chairman of Armed Services Committee. So if they have come on a private visit, they have a right to visit any place. They have a right to come and see the rescue efforts in Pakistan, but that has got nothing to do absolutely with the Biden administration, nor Biden administration has announced these funds to Pakistan after or during their trip. It was done much before their trip was arranged. So this is just rubbish. I don't see there's any substance in the entire trip. Yes, someone wants to capitalize on this. Let them do it. It is not going to help them in any way, in any form, in Pakistan or in the United States.
Dr. Saab, uh, uh, we are talking about these high power, these high value visits, diplomatic uh, visits. So after that, many rumors and many
Yes, let
uh,
me
let
let me
let me so
let
let me
question.
let me let me talk to a very serious issue, is the appointment of an extension of army chief, Pakistan army chief, and uh, these elements, they are claiming that after their certain messages they were carrying and they delivered, so the environment is changed, and the Imran Khan, he changed his stance, and recently he spoke to a press, and he bluntly he said he don't have any issue. Uh, he don't have any issue if uh, the period of army chief is extended. So, what do you think? What is American? What is because Bajwa right now in the middle of dealing of flood crisis, and he knows the business. So in Dadu, they build one of the dam and progress like 80%. Uh, they did a overnight, day and night work. He did a very precious work. And in this crisis, what is the rule? So now the people they are expecting that he will get another 6 month or 1 year extension. And now Imran Khan, he said it's okay till the election. So, what is the reality? Is it a rumor, or what is the American perspective? Did America want uh, General Bajwa to carry on, or is just a rumor?
Coming to the last part of your question, does America want General Bajwa to continue? America is not interested in intruding into the sovereignty of Pakistan. America closely works with democratic nations for the promotion of democracy, human rights, and freedom of speech. This must be very clear to Pakistani audience. America has nothing to do with Pakistani army chief's promotion or change of government in Pakistan. But having said that, let us come to the topic that you brought up. Imran Khan issued a tweet on Friday before a day before Gujranwala public meeting. And he said he rejects any move of the Sarprast. Sarprast means the man who is commanding the situation in Pakistan, and he by that he meant General Bajwa. So he wanted to hit at General Bajwa one day before Gujranwala meeting, and this statement came in 2 days after Gujranwala meeting. What change has been brought up in these 2 days in his basic objective of removing Bajwa? He was confronting Bajwa. He was speaking against Bajwa in the public meetings. He said in the public meetings he wants to reject Mr. X and Mr. Y. That means General Bajwa and General Nadeem Anjum. He rejected them. And he repeatedly said, do the neutrals are neutrals means is General Bajwa a neutral, or has he having some sort of partisan approach in political dealings? That was his charge.
Doctor Sir, what is the American
Yeah, I'm
perspective? I
coming.
just want to know.
Exactly coming to that. Now he blamed General Bajwa a number of occasions, and he brought the entire masses to go against General Bajwa. And then he said those who do not support him are the Ghaddars in the Pakistani general cadre. That means they are the traitor generals of the armed forces. He specifically targeted General Bajwa for the past 6 months or so. As soon as he was removed from power, he started a campaign against General Bajwa. Now, all of a sudden, we see a change in the dynamics, and he is saying that he has no problem in dealing with General Bajwa. That is a very valid question. Now, I answer to you now. First thing, he met with Robin Raphael. She was a diplomat of the United States. She was she had to face investigation by the FBI, and the charges were that she was working for Pakistan, and those charges were brought up against her. And then at some point the Department of Justice did not pursue those allegations. What happened in between that, we have no idea. But the thing is, we know that there were individual by the name of Mustapha Fai, who was prosecuted in the United States on criminal charges, working for Pakistan and giving money to the American uh, uh, elected officials here in funding
Dr.
in
Saab, Dr.
critical.
Saab, I will ask you a last question. We have a very limited time. We have a communication problem here. I will rephrase my question. That Imran Khan recently he gave a statement. It's a very big surprise. So he came back to normal where he started. But there are a lot of rumors, and I just want to know the reality. is there any American influence or any pressure or these messages that people they are claiming that they deliver to not only Pakistani military
Okay, Farooq,
establishment but in a
what
civil government,
you want is
or just he because there are certain cases in the court and the Pakistani Election Commission they are close to uh, they are close to decide. So is he very concerned that he will be banned? His party would be in a trouble. Like recently, last night, there was a FIA bust and they took a very valuable assets, some gadgets, some laptop and other stuff. He was running a illegal website and running trends. He's a powerful senator and one of the close associated. So, do you think that due to this unexpected pressure, he is giving that kind of statements, or it's a routine matter? How you rephrase it?
to be specific to your question. I think you want the specific answer to that. One, in 2019 and 2020, Pakistan's National Assembly brought an amendment to the Army Act. And what is that amendment? That amendment is that the Chief of the Army can be given an extension until the attaination of age 64. And this will be done by the Prime Minister. Before, in Pakistan, the practice was the Commander in Chief of the armed forces was the President of the country. But at some point, the constitution was changed, and it is the Prime Minister who is now the Commander in Chief of the armed forces. So the Commander in Chief of the armed forces has to make a recommendation if there has to be an extension to the serving chief or if a new chief has to be brought in. Now, in this case, they know that there is Article 245 in operation. There is Article 245 that has been invoked, which means there is emergency in Pakistan because of floods, which means that General Bajwa, under these emergency conditions, will get an extension by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and that is very normal. Pakistan is a sovereign state. The Prime Minister of Pakistan has no other options rather just to give an extension to General Bajwa. And according to the Army Act of the 2020, the powers of the Prime Minister authorizes him to give an extension to General Bajwa. So he knows that this will go to general extension for General Bajwa.
Doctor
And
Saab, this is
article,
very important. These are the privileges that
no, no,
or
let me add,
law of
let
the
me
land.
let
I
me
just want to know that a very simple yes or no from you.
no, no, no. I'm coming.
Is he getting a extension? Is a reality or is just a rumor
By all circumstances, General Bajwa is getting an extension for 2 years.
for two
Now,
years?
number two, the question is the Prime Minister will send a recommendation, that is law, and the President will sign as head of the state to the recommendations of the Prime Minister. That means it is not the discretion of the President to reject or approve. It is the President to sign it as head of the state. And that is what President Alvi must have informed Imran Khan, and their legal experts must have informed that the president has no discretion to reject the extension of General Bajwa by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and they have no other option just to surrender. So all activities that was done by Imran Khan targeted against General Bajwa is totally redundant, and he knows by now that there is no way that he has to hit the wall over his
Dr. Saab,
head.
thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, folks. We had a discussion, a dialogue on existing condition in Pakistan, especially in terms of Pakistan-American relationship. Some Pakistani American businessmen, contractors, and film producers and promoters, they are in Pakistan. They are claiming that they are carrying U.S. establishment, Biden administration special messages to Pakistani establishment and the civil government, and now they are in Pakistan. They are enjoying parties and high dine these luncheon and dinner meetings and social media and local newspapers they are publishing. And today, a renowned international journalist and the great columnist and the chairman of CPNE, Khushnood Ali Khan, he published a, a very big, he published a column that is circulating widely distributed on the specific issue. So we also figure out uh, these these claims they are phony, and this visit is a private, not an official. And even the White House and the State Department didn't mention anything. So this is a personal effort, but if there is a reality, then it's a very serious business, and if it's a phony business, that is very serious. I think Pakistani establishment and these departments they should take action, and they should find out what is the reality about these messages that could cause a serious diplomatic conflicts between two countries. So we also talk about uh, the special request from some congressmen. Recently, meeting was held in New Jersey, and you were there. That they requested to make more fund relief for the Pakistan in this crisis. And we also talk about Pakistan Army Chief, his extension. Definitely, it's a crisis, and he knows the business, and he's fighting like a war. And the rest of the Pakistani media, Pakistani different society, they are appreciating his, especially Imran Khan's surprise, his special surprise statement about the army chief extension. He said it's okay till the next extension. So thank you very much, Dr. Saab, for your time. The folks, we will come back with a new uh, topic. So now we will take a leave. Pakistan Zindabad.